Hi everyone, I chose the topic of internationalizing the curriculum using blended learning as the topic for my final paper. If you're familiar with the University of Minnesota system, the phrase internationalizing the curriculum should not be a new phrase. I work on the Crookston campus and we have gatherings once a semester where people from the Twin Cities come up and help out our local people, help faculty design curriculum that addresses all of their students, not just the students who were born and raised in the United States. On both the Twin Cities campus and our local campus, we have a notable group of international students. Based on the statistics that I've found in the system, it's about 7% overall. So a challenge that we have as faculty is engaging, communicating with all of our students when we have a course like I have right now where 40% of the students are from other parts of the world, primarily China. In business, it's very common for students from China to come to the United States to take courses. Three things that come to the forefront quickly when you teach a course with international students is that they have a discomfort with speaking in English. They have a perceived inferiority when it comes to speaking a second language. A lot of times it is perceived. They speak well, but there's always a discomfort with speaking in a second language. One thing that we do as faculty unconsciously is use a lot of American expressions, like out in left field. If you're not familiar with baseball, you might wonder what the professor meant when he says out in left field. Another issue that we run into is assessing written work. It's difficult to not assess the written work of international students similar to American students. Its standards are standards. I struggle with it personally because I don't regard the international written English as being different than what my domestic students would write, but there are some challenges when it comes to written English. So this begs the question, is there a way we can use blended learning to help engage all of our students in class? And I believe there is. So what I did, I came up with an activity where this would be modeled in my business ethics class. I would have each student locate an article regarding global business ethics from the last 3 years, a current events type article from their home country. In my current course, I have students from China and Mongolia. So we would have a combination of articles from the United States, China, and Mongolia, which Mongolia is an interesting country to have represented because they border China. However, culturally, they are very different. Not enough time to go into the history of Mongolia, but it's an interesting twist being amongst my Chinese students. So each student would write up the who, what, where, when, and how questions, but also connect the cultural relevance of their article. Then students would present what they researched and found to the class orally. So that would be an opportunity for them to work on their oral English skills. After class, now this post that they're going to present is going to be posted to the Moodle Plus forum. Moodle Plus forum allows us to communicate with our students without making it public to others, like with the old style forum in Moodle. So that provides me an opportunity to give them some feedback and also comment on written English. One thing I do with our case studies, and we just had one completed, is that I'll make comments about written English, not so much as that this is the wrong word choice or you were incorrect making a statement, but here's a more smooth way to express your idea using written English. And I stress to my international students that I'm not doing this to belittle them, I'm doing it to improve their future papers. And I think they were very receptive with that. They like the fact that I take the time and actually care enough to coach them on written English because many are insecure about that. So after class, once these are posted, students will respond to each other. It's kind of like what we do in our class with the praise push. So what happens is that students learn from students. For instance, a Chinese student will find an article about business ethics in China. My domestic students will read and comment on that article. So you have that student-to-student learning, and you also have the instructor coaching students on written English. And this is all hosted using internet technology, hence blended learning. So I've done parts of this type of activity, but haven't put it all together. So I'm looking very forward to seeing how this goes. Um, but as I said, internationalizing the curriculum is a popular phrase at the University of Minnesota, but we are always mindful in ways to better utilize it in our classrooms. And that's about it. Thank you.